Good morning, folks. This morning's shaving cream is brought to us from Omega, and this one here is got it's a eucalyptus scent, and should show you the inside of this one here that I got has an inside lid, and that's what it looks like there on the inside. And this one here, now this is my lid. Your lid may be different. You have to be kind of careful when you're putting this lid back on, not to tighten it up too much because it will just pop. Just thought I should point that out. Already put a hot towel to face this morning, Saturday morning it is, and got Proraso Preshave this morning. This seems to be some pretty good stuff. Tea tree seems to have a little bit of an effect on my face when I'm applying it. Thought that was pretty cool, kind of like that. And off camera, I'll be using the aftershave balm. Goes right along with the shaving cream. Shaver of the day is a Vanta Shavette. It takes a full DE blade. You might be able to see that blade right there. Notice that the toe and heel of the blade is covered. Makes it a lot easier for somebody to use. There's the blade there. I call this I should also point out that's it's thin through here as well on the tang. It is a fairly thin metal. It's not round. And as it goes for the scales, it's got a couple of posts here. It helps stabilize the scales here, but I should show and mention, it may be kind of hard to see right there. It still comes out at the bottom just a little bit. So if you use one of these, unless they improve the model, that blade is going to be sticking out at the bottom. So you want to be kind of careful when you close it out. We got the shaving cream whipped up here in my smooth bottom bowl. That's what the bowl looks like there. And brush is I don't know if you can see that, the Shaven Sailor. It's 3D printed. This one here is slightly different. Look, it's got a twist to it right there. It's got a bore knot in it. You can order these from the Shaven Sailor with the knot in it, or you can just order just the handle. I think the handle is running right around $11.99. Pretty inexpensive. And put your own knot in it if you want to, and which I have. This one here came, I ordered it with the bore knot, and the rest of the other two brushes I have, I went ahead and put my own knot in them. And if I remember right, it's a 24 millimeter knot. That's what you can put in there. Works just fine. Went ahead and used this yesterday also. The same setup. Went really smooth. I do like this Shavette. It is one of those Shavettes for me that is what I would call if you can consider a Shavette mild, this would be one of them. Typically ones that got the toe and heel covered up does seem to be a little bit milder than one with I guess you might say a considerable blade exposure. Not sure why it's like that, just seems to work out that way. This eucalyptus, I should mention the scent on this, it's, in my opinion, especially compared to others I have, it's not overpowering. It's noticeable, it's there, but it's not to the point where, in other words, your eyes are watering or anything like that. The I'll talk about that here in a moment. Meow. This is second use on the Supermax Diamond Blue Blade, or Blue Diamond Blade, yeah. One of the boys has a cat. Should mention in our family there's a total of 4 boys and 1 girl. So we got we bit the size of a family, and one of the boys has a cat, and it's a female cat named Margot, and she's wanting in, and she is a talker. And she is quite the people person. She's one of those cats that'll get in your lap and sleep for a couple of hours, and she won't even budge. I really do enjoy this Shavette though. Makes it a little bit easier, I think, for somebody that's starting out. Maybe you're not comfortable snapping a DE blade in half. He'll take the pre-cut ones also, but he'll take the whole DE blade. I'll show you what that looks like here in a moment. This mechanism that holds the blade in, it just slides. It's really easy to use. There is a different version of this where what I call a swing clamp. In other words, they'll have a pin right here and it'll pivot back and forth like that as opposed to slide. Just depends on what you like. And I think if I remember right, I've seen one that takes a half of a blade, but when I ordered this quite some time ago, decided to go with one like this, see how it works out. Now, for me, a Shavette shave, I can usually get by with a 2-pass shave and works just fine for me. But if you have some places that's kind of difficult to get with a Shavette, especially when you're starting out, you can do like Steven Davidson, getting everything backwards today. There's no harm in picking up a DE or a single edge shaver, especially around the nose, on the upper lip or anything like that. Just for me, in other words, I would do a pickup right through there if I felt the need, but most of the time I can get by without having the need to do that. And I've been practicing off and on trying to get that angle through there with the Shavette. It's not the easiest for me to do. It's kind of difficult. So it's just as easy to pick up another shaver, and because it's just a couple of quick passes there and I'm done. For me, it was easier to start out with a Shavette versus a straight razor because of the cost. Depending on where you start at, you can find this particular Shavette at Maggard's Razors for, I think, right around 25 bucks. When I ordered mine years ago through Gibson Care, I think I paid right around the $15 mark at that point in time. And you can order Focus Evolution is another one. It has a plastic insert. I've used it before. I'll try to use it again here pretty soon. It covers the toe and the heel also. A little bit different design, but works quite well, and it still runs right around the $15 mark. And you can go even cheaper than that. And not that they're poor quality, in my opinion. They do the job. They're just, how you say, not beauty queens, but $15 or less. You can get started in something like this pretty easy. It will take your full attention. This will bite you if you do not give it its full attention. It'll get a little upset with you. Now, as it goes for what's the best position to hold this, it's what works best for you. 2 fingers in front, 2 fingers in back, 1 in front, 3 in the back. Hold it Camisori style, whatever works best for you. Trying to work around the camera here. Got a little bit of weather moving through. It's been trying to move through since about midnight. A little thunder every once in a while. I don't think, at least I haven't been able to find it here recently. Um, Manic 59, Sharpologist, he had an article a while back about starting with straight razor shaving. And the same principle applies with Shavette, in that how should you approach getting started. And one of the things it mentions about getting started is to go slow and easy. So in other words, for about a week you would only do this cheek. And then the following week you do this cheek and then maybe this part of your neck. In other words, you divide it up and stick with one for about a week and give yourself a chance to, I guess you might say, get accustomed to the Shavette. It is a little bit different animal than, when I say a little bit, a lot of the principles, in my opinion, from a Shavette to a straight razor or a straight razor to a Shavette still applies. Angle, pressure, all that sort of thing still applies. And it's just up to you to figure out what works best for you. But starting out, start slow and easy might be the best method. For me, no, that's not how I started. I'm not that way. I was all in. Have plenty of cuts and so on and so forth. But, this is long before I realized that Mark had an article out. And I don't even know if his article was even out before I started. Started using a Shavette January 2016. And to me, once you, start to master using a Shavette or a straight razor, that satisfaction at the end of your shave is just, just priceless. It is really awesome. I really enjoy my Shavette shaves. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate my other shavers, because I do. But this, a Shavette straight razor shave are the ones at the end where I get the most satisfaction from. That accomplishment, if you will. You're doing something that a lot of gentlemen have done over the years. Got just a little bit of stinging on my neck on this side right here, which I kind of expected. It talking and shaving is sometimes can be hazardous, and I didn't get the angle quite right there. For me, these creases in my neck, I can only stretch so far, and it still won't be, quite enough. So for me, what I have to do is when I approach these creases, especially down in this area, I need to come at a little bit of an angle. It just has to be a little bit, but it gets me past that part right there. And if I don't, then it gets caught and I get a little bit of a nick or something of the sort, and I think that's what happened there. It's not bleeding or anything, I don't think. A little red right there, that's a spot. It'll be all right. My witch hazel still got a little bit of Humphrey's with peppermint and menthol. Like I said, I used the aftershave balm after the video. The aftershave balm is not thick, at least mine isn't. It's just a little bit on the runny side, but really easy to apply. Like I say, just a nice effect on the face, not anything overpowering or over the top. And I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and use it. It might be easier to show you. It's not the thickest. It goes on pretty easy, but my nose being what it is, it's not, in other words, if you wanted to use EDT or something after the fact before you ran out the door, I don't know that it would interfere with it. My nose doesn't pick it up, not quite like I do with some other aftershave balms. But you can kind of tell it, like I say, it is a little bit runny, and that may not be such a bad thing because it's easy to work into the face. Works great. I like it. 15 minutes later, in other words, have it had a moment to dry, face feels so soft and smooth. Pretty good stuff. Like I say, it's not overpowering on the eucalyptus. Sounds like I got somebody who wants to go outside. I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.